showtime.
Hey, Amir, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you.
Please subscribe to Sharonatsea Travel. Thank you. Bye. Peace.
Hello. How you doing, Sharon?
I'm doing good.
Are you excited to be back on a Monday night live stream?
Yeah, I know.
We flaked out last week, didn't we? We missed last week.
We did. It's always, I don't know, it's always rough when you're traveling home during the day. We probably did make it home in time, but, you know, we had to unpack, and it's just always crazy when you come in. You've been gone for a few days, and, you know.
Yeah, you have to mentally prepare to sit here and chat with y'all for an hour and a few minutes. So you know,
seen the kids.
It's hard. You got stuff to do. You got to talk to the kids. You got to make sure there's food in the house. You got to get the you know. I love to get home and unpack and do my own laundry.
Oh yeah.
That's a definite. Can you hear us? Can you see us? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Monday Night Live stream here on the Sharon at Sea Travel YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. And if you're familiar with us, then welcome to you as well. Thanks for coming back to join us. And by the way, here's a few things for you to know. Number one, Leanne and Nancy are the moderators in the chat. Their names are in blue. So if you get lippy, if you get a little funky, if you get an attitude, they're going to come in there and they're going to karate chop you. They're going to hammer you, you're going to nail you, and they're going to put you in your place.
I think everyone's going to be
so let that be known to everybody. And if you're subscribed to the channel, then you're free to chat. You're free to comment in the chat. If you're on your phone, you go into the comment section below the video, and you can say hi to people, share your thoughts, your opinions, ask questions. And by the way, if you have a question, put the word question before it so we can make sure that Sharon, because I don't usually get the questions, they're usually for you, so Sharon can answer your question. So I think they can hear us. I think they can see us. Nancy says, don't make us throw down the hammer and the nail. That is exactly right. And everyone be on your best behavior, and you'll be fine. So Sharon, what's going on? How are you? Have you been busy since we got back from that cruise?
Yeah, I've been busy, and now I'm this is my favorite time of year when fall hits, because it's getting close to the holidays. And so now I'm just trying to find time for all my extra fun things I like to do around the holidays.
Yes.
Like making different crafts and sewing and all those things that I don't usually do all the time. I love doing that stuff around the holidays.
That's right. Timothy Walter says, lippy, funky, and attitude sounds like an R&B song. Timothy, you're not too far off. I think we could put together a jam with that. By the way, great to see you, dude. Hope you're feeling well this evening, and lovely to have you.
Yeah, and hope the Packers win.
Go Pack Go tonight. As Charger fans, we are rooting against the Raiders tonight. Good job, Sharon.
Yeah.
Look at you. Oh, you're really on top of your football. Lucy, you're down here. I need you to calm down a little bit. If you didn't notice, we are wearing our matching shirts tonight. My shirt says GC. Hold on. I don't know if you can see my shirt. You might have to stand up. Mine says GCU Dad.
And mine's GCU Mom.
That's right, because and that is in honor of Matthew, still rocking and rolling. He has not dropped out of college yet.
Oh God, let's hope not.
So that's that's fantastic news as well. All right, let's where do you want to start tonight? So I think we're doing what? We're talking a little bit of Holland America again, aren't we?
Yeah, our last.
All right. Hopefully y'all want to hear a little talk about our most recent cruise. We're going to review it a little bit, tell you how it went. We got on our second ever Holland America cruise, which was not too long after our first ever Holland America cruise. We thought we needed to back it up and get a little more feel for the ship, so we could be a little more honest with our opinions and our thoughts and all that.
There was a lot. I mean, there was a lot of things that were the same, and there were some differences too. I think just being a smaller ship, older ship that we noticed, but I almost enjoyed the smaller ship better. I don't know why, but I just kind of really enjoyed that small ship.
You mean except for the first day?
The first day.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that more. But
and Robert from Life with Favor, no hair burgers. I did not even go near the dive-in burgers. I didn't have a burger. You didn't have a burger either, although you did have a taco from there. They had tacos.
I did, so that was weird. We got so one thing we noticed right out of the gate was, the dive-in, which is the burger joint by the pool, and it is complimentary. Burgers So a couple of hot dogs and a chicken sandwich and fries and stuff like that you can get there. And if you don't know what we're talking about, on our last cruise on the Koningsdam, we were doing a burger video review, and right smack dab in the middle of the review and right smack dab in the middle of my burger was a very long hair that was not ordered. I did not request it. It was not made especially for me. And it was a weird situation, and we decided to make the video with the hair included. And that was it. And then a few folks said, "Are you going to try it again?" But we said no. But when we got on this ship, they had a taco bar right in front of it where they had chips and they had like meat and cheese and like some chicken for tacos, hard shell tacos and stuff. And so I did try a chicken hard shell taco, and it was okay. I think the humidity takes a toll on the taco shells and the tortilla chips pretty quickly when they sit out there.
I didn't even go near the tacos.
So I don't know. It was a solid maybe 5 out of 10.
No.
But you know, what are you gonna do?
I see Real Deal Roatan Tours in the chat there.
Oh my God, Johan, what is going on, brother? How are you doing, man?
We miss you too.
That's
Hopefully
right.
we'll get back there before too much longer.
I know, we got to get some cruises back to Roatan so we can check our guy Johan out. You guys know him already. We've talked about him a million times. We've had excursions with him. He's the best dang excursion tour operator going on out there, and he's a great human being as well, and that's a perfect combination.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you this, Johan, my Diamondbacks versus your Dodgers. Let me start that over. I got to tell you this, Johan. Your Dodgers versus my Diamondbacks. That's going to be a little bit of a series there. I know the game probably is getting ready to start here any minute now. So that's all. I'm just going to leave it there. I don't want to get any animosity. We love you like a brother, and we can't wait to see you again. So if anyone's going down there, you know already, go see Johan at Real Deal Roatan Tours. That's awesome to see him.
Back up. Bill, I saw a question.
Sharon, take the wheel. Take control of the chat. You got it. Who are you looking for?
Question about a hotel. I don't see it now.
All right, let me find it.
Hotel in New York. I think it said October.
And who was it from? Do you remember?
Bill Leach there.
Bill Leach said, question, what's the cheapest hotel in New York City for October in Manhattan, Sharon?
Well,
none of them, Bill, are cheap. None of them are cheap, dude.
They're all expensive. You know what? You really just have to check around because the prices change all the time. And, you know, we've stayed at a couple. We stayed at Embassy Suites. And then actually, if you might get a cheaper rate if you stay over on the New Jersey side a little bit. And then it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be downtown and where all the action is in Times Square, then you might not want to do that. But it is a little cheaper to stay over there. And then just, if you're going on a cruise, just make the drive over, the transportation.
Just go right on the other side of the Hudson on the water there, and you might save a few bucks. That's what we did, and it worked out pretty well.
Because anything's going to be pretty pricey up there. It's really just a matter of checking and what has the better price at the time.
That's right. Yeah, Sharon has had a burger PTSD ever since that burger. That was a really long hair. Thank you, Rob, for noticing. But I will tell you that the pizza was great. But they didn't on this ship. So all right. So let's get started. Let's talk a little bit about it. So we went on the Koningsdam like 2 months ago. We had the opportunity to get on the Volendam after never cruising in Holland America. Boom, back-to-back cruises practically, you know, within a month of each other. And so we checked out the Volendam. We went up to Vancouver. All right. And so our second time ever in Vancouver, we almost did the same thing. We got up there later in the evening, the night before the cruise. We stayed in the same exact hotel.
We did.
The Hampton Inn there.
Because it was, since we were flying in late, we didn't want to pay it was like $600, almost $700, I think, to stay at the closest kind of hotel there. We were looking into the Pan Pacific, and it was really
Ain't nobody
expensive.
got time for that.
So I'm like, we're not going to be there that long. We're just going to be there to sleep. So we stayed cheap and then just drove into the cruise port the morning of. We didn't have time to sightsee or anything, so it didn't make sense to spend all that money for a hotel.
Yes, that was definitely the way to go.
The Hampton Inn in Vancouver there, closer to the airport, it's a great little hotel. We loved it both times we stayed there. It's great.
And this time I actually walked across the street when we got there because it was like 10 o'clock at night, but there were some places open, and I walked across the street and got a doner kebab sandwich, which was unbelievable. Sharon was yelling at me because I was eating this monster-sized sandwich, before, you
I
know,
was
at like
not-
11
well-
at night. And she's like, you can't eat that. You're going to be bloated. You're going to
I'm
be
like, no, I'm
full."
like, you're gonna be sick. You're gonna wake up just feeling sick. But yeah,
So don't worry about it.
I
babe.
was not hungry, so
And everything was fine. So there you have it. But so that was cool. We left out of Vancouver, but unlike the last time where it really it didn't take so long of a time on our first trip out of Vancouver as far as getting through the embarkation process and all that. But it was a very long, like, distance process. We covered a lot of ground,
Well, there was-
starting in the basement parking lot area,
Yeah.
going up, going down, going up,
there's a
going
lot
through
more
tons
people
of lines
getting
and
on the
queues.
ship. The ship that day, it was a bigger ship, and the ship was full. And Princess had a ship there that they were all both kind of boarding in the same location that day, and it was just a little more hectic, I guess, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a breeze this time. I mean, the ship had, we mentioned before, I think it holds about 1,500 guests,
Yes.
and it was only at about 700 there. So we got to the cruise port just probably about the time, maybe 15 minutes or so after when we were supposed to be there. And we walked in, checked in. We just kept walking all the way in, and just walked right onto the cruise ship. It
There
was
you
a
go.
breeze. And our cabin was ready when we got on. We went right to our cabin.
Yes.
Holland America has, I guess, kind of like a policy or whatever. It's their
Kinda how they roll.
Yeah, it's like their turnaround policy. They try to have all the cabins ready by 11:30. That's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I think the clientele are the kind of folks that get up and get out of the cabin early.
Yeah,
On that
probably.
cruise line. So
They don't
it's
mind.
not as challenging versus some other cruise lines where people will push the envelope and stay on as late as they can.
Yeah.
Susan Wade had a question. Did you report the hair? Getting back to the hair. Did you report the hair? You know, we didn't. It's a hair in your food. It happens once in a million, once every blue moon. And it happened to us. And we were busy making a video, so we just kind of left
Well,
it and
yeah.
said, we're good to go.
and that particular cruise, we were on that ship for a travel agency event, and so we just didn't really want to be the big complainers there.
So we just roll with the punches. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some people would say, oh, you should have reported, and whatever. Reporting it would not have removed the
Yeah.
hair from our lives.
Yeah.
And so we just, stuck with it. Variable Cruising said, when you guys went to Pier 39, did you see the sea lions? Yes, we did.
We did, yeah.
We saw them right out the window when we were eating lunch at the pier market, as a matter of fact. They were right out there. And it was perfect because we were enjoying a lunch, and then you had the smell of the marina, and then maybe the scent of the sea lions every
I think
once
I
in a
got a
while
picture of the sea
coming
lions,
in.
actually,
So
too.
yes, it was lovely. It was lovely. Let's see what else. So all right, so we get through, we get on the ship, everything's pretty groovy. But one thing we notice is it's empty. We got on that ship and it was pretty empty. The ship only holds just under 1,500 people, so it was definitely small. It's the oldest ship they have in the fleet, the Volendam, built or first sailing in 1999. It's been refurbished. I will say this: both cruises, the ships looked immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
This ship, for being the oldest ship, I mean, the interior cabin was a hint older, a tiny bit worn,
It was a little dated,
but it was in amazing
but,
condition.
Yeah.
It was an amazing condition.
Rob from Life with Favors has in New York City, Inc. 45 hotel is right by the cruise port.
There you
There you
go.
go,
So there you
Bill.
go,
Bill
Bill.
H. There's an option for you to check out.
Hold on, Ink 45. I think with your hotel you get a free tattoo there at the Ink 45. I don't know if it's Ink or if it's Link or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
Timothy Walters says, question, is there a Bermuda 2.0 group cruise in the future? Timothy, you never know. There could be. There could. I mean, I don't know. You never know.
Not in the next 3
Not
years.
in the immediate future, I can tell you that. There's nothing been talked about or anything like that.
Well, yeah, we don't have any plans to go back to Bermuda, I don't think, again, for a while.
Well, all right. Well, there you go. So two different answers from two different people.
Yeah,
I say never say never, and Sharon says, yeah.
Well-
unfortunately, probably not. A question for Sharon: were you cruise relaxing or boating? I'm really curious. From Chaika. So, what do you mean? Was she just totally relaxing, or was she there? Like, give me a little more information on that question. She said, question for Sharon: were you cruise relaxing or boating? I'm really curious. So I'm not sure what you mean by that, but give me a little more info on that. Do you mean like, was it a chill time? Were we working on the cruise or what?
Yeah, it was. This was more relaxing. It was definitely just
Yes.
kind of a chill kind of.
It certainly
relaxing
was.
cruise.
It was very chill.
I mean, I
was
work
really
a little
glad.
too, but mostly chill.
So all right, so we get on the ship, we get in our cabin. Our cabin steward,
Amazing.
yeah, freaking awesome.
Harry.
The guy was fabulous.
His name was Harry. I just thought
His name was Harry. Wow, that just
Oh
got
my
weird.
gosh.
That just got weird.
Oh.
His name was Harry, and but he wasn't really that Harry. But anyway, I digress. So Harry was fabulous. Cabin steward was great. We went out. We walked around a little bit. We had lunch. We checked out the buffet, the buffet was very good, although much smaller than what we saw on Connings's.
Wow.
But as we found out how many people were on board, it really made sense. I mean, the portions they had out were smaller. There was a little less food, although still plenty of food. And all the food I thought was pretty darn good.
Oh, here we go. Said relaxing versus boring because
Oh,
of the
okay.
ship being empty. I would say more relaxing.
Yes.
I mean, some people could call it a little boring too on that ship, but we kind of went into this cruise a little differently than the last Holland America,
Yeah.
knowing what to expect. So I even though there was probably a few less things on this sailing, I feel like it wasn't as boring because I don't know, maybe had a different mindset. We went in knowing ahead of time what to expect, so I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot, and there were activities, and we did a few things, but we just relaxed a lot too.
Yes.
I think on that cruise.
We totally did. Question, Richard Vanden Aaron. What's up, Richard? Hope you and Lori are doing good. It's a question, Jamie. Favorite bar on the Volendam? I don't know, man. That's a tough.
That's one thing you said that Holland America. I think that is probably the one thing besides the casinos that you said kind of. I don't know. That's not their best point. Their best.
Well, all right, so,
they don't usually make the drinks quite.
So there was a great guy, very nice guy that I ran into at the pool bar. And as a matter of fact, one morning on the first sea day morning, day 2 of the cruise, I sat out there for a while because I was uploading a video. So I sat out there and it was the same guy who I had talked to the day before. So he was really friendly. So he saw me again, remembered my name. We joked that he even remembered the cabin number. So that's how good he was. And so I had a drink and another drink and then another drink. And then so the service was great, but I was sitting not at the pool bar, but in the area by the pool, at the midship covered pool. So that was pretty cool. The ocean bar was very nice as well. They always had some music. Well, at night they had music playing in there, so that was cool. But a very small bar, and the bar's like up in the corner, facing away from everything. And then the other bar was I think it's called Spirits and Ale, which was adjacent to the mix lounge, and that bar was kind of like the casino bar, right? There was a wall separating the two, and that bar was cool. It had some nice seating area. One thing I did like though, at all the bars that I went to, they had the little glass decanters with nuts, with like a peanut mix in them, and I love the peanut mix. I love the snacks, and one of them had these little things that had like a wasabi flavor in them. So every time you had a handful, you're like boom, and then pooh, it was a blast in flavor. So I did enjoy that. So I don't know if that answers the question. There was nothing that was awesome about any of them, but they were all pretty good. Although
they were really full. Like usually you go by the bars on a lot of the cruise lines, and it's hard to find a seat, and they're loud and everything. You walk by the bars on Holland America, and there's just usually a couple people sitting at them. They're not loud. They're very mellow and quiet. It's just kind of a whole different vibe.
That's right. Okay, Amy Franzak comes in hot with the first question about it. How did you like having the interior cabin?
Okay.
So Sharon, set this up a little bit. How many times have we had an interior cabin in all of our many years of cruising?
Never. This was our first one.
Yes.
And I'm glad this was our first one if we had to have one, because I felt like it was a little bigger than some of the others that I see like now, and especially on the newer ships, like some of the newer Carnival ships. I walk by those interior cabins. I'm like, ooh, those are small.
They're a little tight.
But it had a sofa in it. A lot of the interiors don't have a sofa, on some cruise lines. So
Yeah, that was cool.
yeah, so that was nice.
Well, we found that it was for two of us, right? It had the two beds pushed together as one king. is what they referred to it as. But it had a Pullman bed that would come out of the ceiling. And and the sofa was a pull-out sofa that would make into a bed as well.
It would accommodate more people, but that wasn't really why it was larger. Even the ones without the Pullman bed, they're all the same size in that area. But it was for an interior, it was a decent size. I guess the location was good. I mean, it wasn't too far from where the gangway where we got off the ship.
Hold on, it was crazy close to the gangway.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Almost all the time we're up on like maybe deck 8, 9, 10 in a balcony.
But that was another thing though.
And we're down on deck 2.
Yeah, this was the lowest deck we've ever been on. I think besides this, I think we were on deck, I want to say almost deck 7, maybe 6, but I think deck 7 was the lowest deck we've ever been on. Even when we had an ocean view cabin before, it was on an older Carnival ship, and I think that was like deck 6 or 7.
I think you're right.
Because they didn't have balconies except for the ones really high.
Yeah, it was like the elation and something like that. So
that, I think more than being in the interior, I was kind of freaked out a little by it being low because I like to be really high up on the ship. But
well, they say, you know what, the good thing is they say when you're lower, you don't feel the rocking of the waves as much,
that's what they say.
Is that what they say? Hold on, that's what they say. That's only what they say.
And I don't know it, because I didn't go up on the higher decks during that time. But on that second day, the ship was moving like it was probably the rockiest, I guess, cruise we've been on. Not the rockiest, probably the next to the rockiest cruise we've been on in the past. So
I think so.
The second day, I started not feeling that well after breakfast, and I was like,
hold on. Did you make it to breakfast?
Yeah, we ordered room service that morning.
Oh yes, we did.
Then a little bit later, I just started not feeling so good, and I got that feeling like you feel when you're starting to get seasick, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So I was like, I'm just going to lay down. I'm not going to do anything until the movement stops, because I was thinking once we get down a little further, it would stop and then I would be okay. But it rocked all day long into the evening, and it
rocked you. It rocked your world.
So I was like laying down pretty much all day until later in the evening, and then it kind of got a little better. But the rest of the trip too, it was a little rocky, but just not enough to make me feel sick.
It was.
So the first day I was not feeling
it. It was rocky. Hold on, let me see if I can find something here. Maybe hang in there with me. Let me see what I have here. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. It looked a little bit like this. All right, so it wasn't crazy waves.
Well, that was.
But there was always a swell. No, this is like day 3.
Yeah.
But there was always a swell going on. And the ship was always kind of moving up and down and up and down, and even
I felt like I was just even laying in bed. I was literally just felt like I was going like.
But that first day, the whole it was a Pacific Coast cruise, right? So it left out of Vancouver and it was heading south. So we left Vancouver, we got out into the Pacific. So the first night was kind of okay. It's a little calm. Then you get out into where you meet up with the Pacific Ocean. I think even the captain said that we'll be getting into the Pacific Ocean about 1 a.m. And then after that, it was definitely a little movement. And when I opened my eyes, probably at like 6 in the morning, I was like, whoa. I mean, we were flying all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit crazy. And then, like Sharon said, after breakfast, I said, okay, I'm going to go out and upload this video. And she said, okay, I'm just going to rest a little bit. Okay, cool. So I go out and next thing you know, I ate something for breakfast. I got a couple of I had a Bloody Mary, a couple of beers going on. I go back to the room. It's like 10:30. Boom, she's still out like a light. I'm like, okay, I'll come back later for lunch and see what she's up to. I come back later. Boom, she's still out like a light. And I was like, oh my gosh. So she guys, if you can believe it or not, she left me on my own the entire first day. And I went out and I just was my usual. I mean, what do you do? What do I do if I'm just left alone on a cruise ship all day by myself? Besides, gambled a little, drank a little bit, ate a lot, and then finally at the end of the night, she decided to just get some room service. I ate at the buffet and then came back and we crashed out. And the next day it calmed down a little bit.
And then everything was good after that. But
yes.
Yeah. So, but, and then I remembered too, I'm like, that, that could happen on that type of cruise, but I just hadn't thought about it. We've been in that area before and had similar waters and things in the past. And, but I just didn't think about it before we went on the cruise.
There's a great question. Kidder says, did you have to clear customs in San Francisco, since you were coming from Canada and entering the USA?
No, we did not.
No, we did not. And even weirder, when we got off the ship in San Diego,
Nothing.
nothing.
We just walked off.
We walked off. We walked through a door,
Went to
another
the
door, and
airport.
we were boom, and we were I heading to the street on our way. I mean, it was the weirdest thing. We had no customs, and I don't know why. I don't know how that happened.
Before we got off in San Diego, they made the announcements. Okay, you can't take any food off or even drinks. They were saying if people are carrying coffees or things like that, get rid of them. You're not allowed to bring anything off the ship. But when we got off the ship, I don't know who would have known because they didn't check anything. So we just walked off and
we scanned our deal. Yeah, we got our luggage. We scanned our card getting off, and that was it. Of course, the ship was about. They were embarking.
Yeah,
people were getting on that day.
People were getting on that day.
Yeah. So really quick about the cruise. So the cruise started in Vancouver, and we were just doing a 5-day that would go from Vancouver, Sea Day, San Fran, Sea Day, and then ending in San Diego. Right.
We had two sea days.
Yeah.
San Francisco and then a sea day.
Okay, so then we ended in San Diego and we got off. But we saw a few people randomly getting on the ship in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But they were scheduled to bring on a lot of people in San Diego because this was actually a 56-day cruise that began in Vancouver, went to San Diego, and then it was going out and it wasn't going to return for 51 days
and it was
back to San Diego again.
Returning to San Diego.
Yeah, so although it started with only about 700 or so people on, they were going to almost double that amount in San Diego and then start their 51 days of their journey to Hawaii and down south. I mean, amazing. We would kill to do a cruise like that. It sounded fabulous.
It did.
But it broke our hearts to have to get off and fly home that day. That's for sure. That is for sure. But that's how, that was kind of the breakdown of the cruise. And so that's how we started out the first day. It was a little choppy. It was a little rocky. But one thing that we didn't mention was we had a little fun with our cruising community there. Because Timothy Walter says, was Jimmy rocking? Timothy, I'm not going to lie to you, my friend. Only because it's you, I'll tell you. Don't tell anybody else. Jimmy was rocking on that day when Sharon was out like a light. Jimmy was rocking. I had drinks in the casino. The drink package worked in the casino for me. We didn't purchase it anywhere else on the ship, but it was working there, and I got my money's worth, or my lack of, whatever you want to call it. I got a deal, so it was just fabulous. Yes, Charles Hunt said Jimmy was causing the boat to rock. It was. I was jumping. I was on one side. I jumped up and down. Then I ran over to the other side. I jumped up and down again just to keep that momentum going, so that I can, stay out there and get crazy.
True Texan Girl said, I got ship ease patches to try. Hopefully they work. $30.
Holy cow.
I hope so. I always bring, every cruise, I bring those little sea bands, and I rarely even use them. I hardly ever get seasick, but on occasion, all of the times I have gotten seasick, it has always been on the West Coast.
Yeah, you're right about that. But what's funny is that you literally bought those sea bands on our first ever cruise.
I did.
On the Carnival Elation.
Those aren't the same ones, though.
The first ever cruise.
Those aren't the same ones.
Those aren't the same ones?
They are, but I actually gave those to somebody when we went on our first Alaska cruise. That was in like 2017.
I thought I was telling a great story here that those things were so old.
No, but
all right, forget it.
Someone got seasick on that cruise before me, so I gave up my sea bands to them.
Oh my God.
And then I ended up going and buying more in the gift shop. So
I'm always the last one to know. Check it.
I wear those, and
I wonder if the movement is worse going up
usually
to Vancouver. I don't know if it's worse or not, but coming down, it definitely was a little. It was very rocky.
It's bad going up to, like if you leave out of Seattle. That's why they always say going to Alaska, if you leave out of Seattle that first day, going up before you get to past
just when
Canada.
you get out into the Pacific, it gets a little choppy.
That's where it's a little rocky, and then once you get into Canada and get up, past that into Alaska, you're fine.
Yeah, Kim Rubick said, and then Jimmy came to visit. James turned into Jimmy. That is right. Yes, I did. I got a little crazy. I had a little fun. and it was all good.
Yeah. And then finally,
and I didn't annoy
we're
Sharon at
talking
all.
about the room. So finally, the next day, when I felt better, and everything, I'm just like, I got to get out of this room. We were just like, we got to get
Oh,
out
God,
of here.
yes.
And because then all night long,
I was like, come on, Sharon, let's get out. And then we're walking through the ship, and all the bartenders are like, hey, Jimmy. Sharon's like, what did you do?
Oh, they did not.
Okay, no, that's not true. I made that.
But then, all
made
night long after that, then during the night, I had trouble sleeping because I was kind of laying in bed all day long. So the next day, I was like, I need to get out of the room. I've watched everything possible on this TV already during the night. I'm like, I need to get out of here.
Yes.
So
that's right. Pam S says, question, did you miss having a balcony or window?
I did.
We really did.
I did.
We really did.
Yeah, I love having a balcony, and then sometimes we don't even use it anymore all the time, but just knowing it's there, and now I think I will definitely make sure I use it. But I did miss it a lot, although the interior wasn't bad, and we could do it again, but I just really miss having the light coming in and being able to walk out and just get some fresh air if you want.
People always say, well, in an interior, you never know what time it is. I'm like, well, I always knew. I just looked at my phone.
Well, yeah,
but one thing I didn't know is I didn't know what the weather was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what was going on out there. I didn't know if it was sunny, if it was a little warmer, if it was windy,
turn on
or any of that kind of stuff.
The cam, the ship cam, and look sometimes to see what was going on outside.
And we were hoping that we would have some great weather as we started coming south, but it really didn't pan out that way. When we got off the ship in San Francisco, it was a little cloudy. At one point later on in the day, it drizzled a little. As a matter of fact, it rained when we started doing a live stream from San Francisco that afternoon. Although earlier the sun did come out, and then the sun came out again later for our sail.
The last
so that
day
was cool.
in the afternoon, it got a little sunny. But it was almost too late to really go out and enjoy anything. And then when we got to San Diego, it was as sunny as ever. So all the people getting on the ship are probably going to have some nice sunny days for a few days.
Yes.
You're
right.
So when we got back, the weather got nice. But I was thinking I was going to get a little sun and have some, just really relax. But yeah, the weather was not the best. But.
Jeff and Kelly Baldwin said, you cleared U.S. Customs and Immigration in Vancouver. Well, I guess we did, but we got on the ship. And we went through all that. We showed our passports. We went through the whole deal. And to be honest, we've never gotten off. Right? We've never gotten off a ship on any cruise, any place, anywhere.
We've always
where
done
we didn't have to show
closed loop cruise.
our stuff. That was the first time we ever had an open loop where we started in one place and ended in another. But I don't know. I do know that when you're flying out of Vancouver, once you get into the airport. They actually have a deal with the U.S. where it's considered, U.S. It's considered that you're in the United States when you're in the airport. So it's a little bit of a unique deal. The relationship we have with Canada, obviously a great relationship as a country. So maybe that has something to do with it. But it was weird. Jamie Wilhite said, could you see the coast like Carmel or Monterey?
No, not the times that we were outside, and since we were had an interior cabin, not when we were in there. So yeah, I don't think so.
Lindy Lou says, I like HAL. I've been on 3 cruises with them. Well,
we like HAL too. We like it a lot.
I think the biggest thing for us that made the second cruise so much different than the first was, our expectations were tempered. We knew what to expect now. We weren't surprised at things. We knew it would be low key. We knew they didn't have a lot of the things that First Ship had. The first on the con exam, they had that whole music row, right? And on this ship, they had a little piano bar for music. But it wasn't like so much of a joking piano deal. It was interactive, but it was a gal who was playing and stuff like that. So they enjoyed that.
That was nice though.
I don't know that there was really many people dancing. There was a little area where they had like a pianist and a violin player in the Explorers Lounge, but it was a weird setup because it was just like a bunch of chairs. Like you'd go get a coffee and sit in a chair, and then you'd watch these 2 people play on the piano and the violin for a minute. And
everyone was just sitting there, like literally just sitting straight, just staring.
Just like midday, because we walked in and checked them out, and they were talented.
Yeah,
we came in right at the tail end, but it was a little bit of an odd deal in this Explorers Lounge. But probably the happening place was the Ocean Bar. The Ocean Bar had a band each night. The band was pretty good. They were jamming. You know, they played all kinds of different music, a little
there was
jazz.
other-
There was a gal who was singing that was awesome.
Yeah.
The same one that sang in the show.
Oh, okay, yeah. And the show, they had, during the 5 nights we were on there, they had shows every night in the theater, but only one was like we only went to one, and that was the dance show. It was called The Tandem, and it was really good. It was a great dance show. The other 2 of the nights they had a comedian, and one night they did like an impressionist, and we just didn't go to those for whatever reason. We were just doing something else, but and they had stuff during the day. They did the typical like art things, artsy coloring,
Yeah.
painting, and that.
We got a
kind of
little
thing.
video coming out where
They
we
have,
kind of went through a sea day. We made a little video of what we did. Then we
They
sat
did.
down at the end of the night and kind of recapped everything
Yeah.
with some video overlay. So we got something like that coming out.
They had they pickleball tournament. They have a ping pong tournament, which I almost was in. I signed up for, but it just was lasting too long, and I hadn't gotten my turn yet. So I was like, yeah, I need to go eat lunch, and so we ended up not.
Yeah, we waited there for 30 minutes and you were still waiting to go. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
this was,
People-
it was
somebody-
fun and exciting to think
Yeah.
about, but it really
Yeah.
wasn't.
I didn't realize so many people would be excited to play ping pong.
Yeah. And it was weird. It wasn't so, I don't know. It was just an odd deal. So we got out of there. Timothy Waltons has a question. Why did you have to fly to Dallas before heading to Vancouver? Well, Timothy, that worked out to be all part of the fun and the mystique.
Well, we didn't plan that.
Yeah. That was just part of the booking when we got our flight.
That was the cheapest flight.
The cheapest flight had us leaving
Yeah.
Phoenix and shooting over to Dallas and then going to Vancouver.
Yeah, when we looked for flights to go, it's like, nowadays flights, any of you that are looking at flights these days, they're crazy high. Flights are really expensive.
Totally.
And when I looked at the flights, that was just the cheapest one. So we're like, okay, we're taking that one.
Hey, we did it, and it worked out great because we were saying how we didn't talk about where we're gonna go. We just want to do something different. It was a little more of a surprise. And then when we started off saying, hey, here's a picture of us, and we're going somewhere, follow along, whatever. Then a lot of people were like really interested, like where are they going? Where are they going? And it turned out to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so then we were
Like,
having
I
fun
can't wait
with
to do it again.
We didn't really plan to do that, but it just sort of all happened, and
Yes.
and then we started having fun with it. So
Well, so we opened up the deal. Hold on, let me put this. So we opened up and we posted this picture, and by the way, notice I looked very thin in the beginning of this cruise, and at the end of it, I was bloated and retaining water and all that kind of stuff. It was crazy. And then we post this picture. And then people are like, oh, they must be going to a cold weather climate. Look at Sharon. She's got a jacket and leggings on. And Sharon's like, I wear leggings every time I cruise because they're comfortable.
not cruise. That's my travel air, like flying.
Yeah, that's your look.
My flying clothes.
Of course, and a lot of people are like, where the hell are you? Look at the door. Why is the couch on the door? And it was just a connecting room. And so we had just slid the couch over a little bit.
Oh,
It
yeah, I
looks-
just noticed that.
It's a little more of an optical illusion than anything else. So then Sharon, and then people are like, well, they're in cold weather place. And at this point, we're in Vancouver. And I'm like, well, we want to throw them off the path. So then Sharon gets up the next day and she goes, I know what I'll do. I'll put on a summer dress. And I'll put this on, and this is embarkation day.
Yeah.
So she's getting ready to get on
Well,
the
we
ship.
were going to go
so she
have
put
breakfast.
this on
And
first.
so I was like, okay, I'll put this on first. And, I brought that dress because I thought I'd be able to wear it on the ship, and I thought the weather would be nicer.
Yeah.
But of course it wasn't.
Well, and so then we're like having fun with it, and then people are waiting for it, and the idea was, okay, well, we're gonna get on the ship, and then we'll put out an embarkation day video the next morning, and we'll get some content from the first day, we'll edit it up, we'll upload it, and we'll get it going, and we'll put it out. But then I started feeling bad because then it's like, okay, well, now it's dragging on a little. And then we went the whole day without posting anything, and people are like, what's happening? And then I'm like, no, Sharon, they're going to rebel against us. People are going to be angry at us for not posting more information.
And at this point,
having a
I
big
was on the
reveal.
ship, and I wasn't feeling very well. I was seasick, and so
Yeah.
you're like, you were editing the video and trying to
Yeah,
get
then
it
the
out
next morning, I'm like sitting out there at the pool area, and it's taking I'm going a video that usually takes 20, I don't know, like 30 minutes to upload at home. When you start uploading, it's like 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Although I will say the Wi-Fi on that ship, besides that uploading, the Wi-Fi was really good.
Yeah, the download, the receiving it was great. The upload was super, super slow, but it finally uploaded, and then we posted that as the reveal as to what we were doing. So that was a fun little deal. We had a good time, and we appreciate you playing along. I hope we didn't annoy anyone too much with that. Maryland Dillon said I had to fly home from Rome through Toronto and clear customs there, just like in Ireland. Well, yeah, so I guess it just depends where you are, where you're going, and all that kind of stuff. Did they have shuffleboard and the swimming pool a jazzercise?
Oh my gosh.
They did have shuffleboard.
They did. And they didn't.
And a pickleball court.
Yeah, they didn't have the pool jazzercise. I didn't see that on there, but I did see someone, which this is something I've never seen on a cruise ship before.
Lucy, settle down. We're doing a live stream.
And every morning when we walked across the Lido deck, we saw one there. I mean, not many people were in the pool because it was a little on the cooler
side. Well, the first day they were actually doing work on the pool, so it wasn't until the end of the day on day 2 of the cruise in the midship pool that the pool even had water in it.
Well, there were people in the jacuzzis every day. The pool, not so much, but it was heated. But okay, so there was one lady every morning. She got in the midship pool. She tied this. I mean, I forget. I don't know what it's called, but it's like some kind of a bungee rope thing that you use, I guess, probably for exercising or whatever. But she wrapped it around the little handle thing that you hold on to as you get out of the pool. She had that wrapped around there, the ladder, and then she was stretched out a little bit, and she's holding on to it in the middle of the pool, and she's just kicking. It's like she was swimming in place, and that was like her exercise. That's
exactly what she was doing.
Exercise every morning, and every morning we walked out there, we saw her doing that. So I thought that was. I've never seen that on a. Well, if most people don't have room.
Well, every morning
they don't have room to do that in a pool on most cruise lines.
Every morning we walked by and we kind of giggled a little bit. There's a lady swimming in the pool again.
We're like, oh my God, what's going on?
And the reality is she's probably in 10 times better shape than either one of us. So God love her. Let's see. Wendy Johnson said, I just want credit for not making any old people jokes tonight. All the credit in the world to you because you're free to do that. Susan White said, is Holland America an older crowd or pretty mixed?
It is mostly an older crowd. I'm not gonna lie, but there are some of the newer ships, like the Pinnacle class ships, you'll find more, not more middle class, but you'll find more middle class than you will on the older ships, I think. And it also is based on the itinerary. If you go on one of those longer sailings and everything, you're gonna find older people because most people can't take that much time off work to go on those cruises, you know. So
not a lot of people are jumping on 51-day cruises.
Crowd of people going on those sailings. But it is mostly older people.
It was definitely older people, and I would tell you this. One of our things when we first tried Holland was how dressed up do we need to be, and we had heard a lot of different stories.
Well,
guess what? On either ship you went on, you do not have to be dressed up. I wore jeans to the dining room almost every night that I went to the dining room, besides formal night, basically. I saw people I saw a couple people walking in out of that dining room.
You didn't wear jeans last time to the main dining room.
What do you mean?
Not on the conning stand.
On the conning stand, I wore jeans in the dining room. Are you sure about that?
No, you didn't. You brought jeans, but you didn't wear them.
I'm gonna need to throw a red flag on that and check some review. But I will tell you that on this cruise, I wore jeans every night, 4 nights out of 5. Yeah. We went to the MDR, and I wore jeans, and I was as nicely dressed as anybody else in there.
This ship they were dressed. I guess I think people dressed up a little more on the conning stand than on this one. They were a little more, not as dressed up.
Well, I will tell you what. But this cruise definitely had an older crowd, and I will also say this.
But
there's a very heavy Asian crowd on this cruise ship as well. More so than the conning stand. Now, maybe it has to do with Vancouver, leaving out of Vancouver, because there's a huge Asian population that we noticed in Vancouver, even just driving from the hotel by the airport down to the port. I don't know if it's a Chinatown area or whatnot, but it is just a huge Asian community out there. And there were a lot of Asian families on there. And that's really the only folks that I saw where there might have been some younger people were with the families. And then there were a few toddlers and a couple random babies around.
On this cruise.
On this cruise, I saw a few.
There was maybe 2 or 3 toddlers or babies.
I was in the casino, and the only 2 gals working in the casino were looking at a woman that had 3 kids just like playing on the floor, rolling around. They're all tiny. And the women were just fawning like, oh my God, look how cute. And I could tell, I'm like, you probably haven't seen a kid in a while if you're on the ship. You just don't see the younger kids at all.
Yeah. There were no teens, though. We didn't see any teens.
Sue O'Connor says, I can't believe no one was in the casino. It was a ghost town.
It was.
It was even worse it was worse than on the Conning Dam, and the casino was so small.
And this one, there was several days where there was just one person at the tables. You know.
Oh,
You went in there.
I went in there. When I went in there the first
one table is open.
Hang on, let me really quick. Debbie Shapkin says, I've been traveling and just heard you visit my hometown of San Francisco. Wish I'd have known. That'd have been your personal City by the Bay tour guide. Debbie, that would have been great, because then we would not have been bashed so much in the comments of our San Francisco vlog by people going, what a disappointment. You only went to the Fisherman's Wharf. That's a tourist trap. You should have gone to the Golden Gate Bridge in Alcatraz and rode the carts, or the train or whatever. I'm like, really? Those aren't tourist traps as well? We had a bunch of people jumping on us, so I had to get on there and defend Sharon. Tell them to go.
Well, we thought about doing something else there, but this whole cruise was just all about just kind of relaxing with all the sea days. And so we just
I could go on a rooster rant right now.
And you wanted to have some good food, so we went over there and found some good food, and I found lots of little shops, and we had a good time.
Listen, so on the first day, on the Jimmy day, where Sharon was still in bed, I went to the casino later in the morning. I don't know, maybe it was about 11 o'clock or so, 11:30, and I walk in, and there's one dealer at like the blackjack table, and the pit boss gal was there, and that's it. So I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? And I had seen him the night before for a few minutes when I popped my head in the casino as well. So I was like, hey, guys, can we do a little roulette? And they're like, sure. So they literally closed down the blackjack table where she's standing and there's no one playing anyway. There might have been 4 or 5 slot players, 0 players on any table games. And then she comes over and she starts spinning the roulette. Then I'm like, is this the first roulette game of the day? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like,
that's
okay.
Probably why one of the other days we walked through the casino, and we were standing in there for a little bit, and one of them asked you, they're like, oh, do you want to play roulette? Like they were going to shut it down, I think, and do the same thing. And you're like, oh, no, not right now.
Well, yeah, so I went, so I sat there by myself, probably an hour and a half, played, and I walked away with up a couple bucks, so that was cool. Went back, checked on Sharon, went and had some lunch. Then when I got back to the casino in the afternoon again, and once again, it's because I had free drinks in the casino, so those things went together well. I go back in there, the pit boss is still there, but the single person is on another table dealing cards, and there's 3 people playing. So I'm like, hey, when do you have another person coming in? And she's like, oh, I think around 5. I'm like, 5? It's like 2 in the afternoon right now or something. So she said, yeah, I just have the one person right now. I'm like, well, okay, that's ridiculous, but I wasn't a jerk about it. And so then I said, well, if I want to, I guess I'm going to have to gamble. So I sat down with these other people, learned how to play this kind of a 7 card poker, pick your best 5 table game, and actually had fun for a while playing. And then everyone else left, and then I left and left all my money there as well, and that was it. And then I went and looked for.
Yeah,
Sharon
I have
again.
not seen any on both Holland cruises. I just haven't seen anyone like getting excited like they're winning anything.
Yes.
I don't hear of anyone really winning.
Richard Zollner says he makes old people jokes all the time because he is an old person. Listen, we're all old. None of us are getting any younger, so it's okay. Pam asked the question, are you planning to watch the eclipse on Saturday?
Oh.
I don't know, maybe.
We really hadn't thought about it.
I got to set an alarm so I can remember
now
it.
that you mentioned it, we might, yeah.
Mary Ellen Dillon said, I knew you were at a Hilton because of the hairdryer bag. Oh, okay, yes.
That's a giveaway.
I know, that was a lot of fun. People were like, where are they at? Where are they at? I mean, we're usually at a Hilton hotel one way or the other.
Go back.
Hold on, let me I jumped
back
ahead.
the other way.
I am going back. I jumped ahead a little bit there.
Someone said, True Texan Girl, in Galveston, do you prefer Harbor House or Tremont?
Oh, okay, so a Galveston question.
Oh gosh, that's a hard one because my favorite's really, I like the Harbor House, I think, although there were things about the Tremont that I really loved. I really loved our room that we had. It was just so big. But other than the room that we had there, I'm going to go with Harbor House for everything else.
Yeah. Tremont House was great, but it was a little stuffy. And I'm not just saying that because I got kicked out of the bar for having my own bottle of bourbon. Although I could say that. And I blame other people that are out there. And you know who you are, Nautical Nurse Nancy. But I'm going Harbor House full bore because you get up early in the morning and you get up and you walk 10 feet and you watch the ships come in and your ship is right there. And man, Willie G's is right there too.
Yeah,
and
sometimes if you get the right room, facing where the ships come in. You can just look out your window and you can see the ship.
That's right. Kim Brubaker, yes, Sharon was cracking the whip on me getting that content out. Yeah, she's like, you need to get this video out. I'm like, well, wait a minute. We just got on the ship today, and you want an embarkation day video out tomorrow morning? And she's like, yeah. Yeah, and she said, yes, now that you work for me, that's how we're going to do it. So she was definitely cracking the whip. Oh, Mary Barkley, thank you so much. Let's see. Where is Jamie and Sharon was fun. Thank you, Mary. You're amazing. We love you, and thank you so much for the support and the super chat. Yeah, Timothy Walter said it was great watching people guess where you were headed all day. Well, there was one person, Jeff Laura, who said, I think they're on another Holland America ship, and no one else guessed another Holland America.
Yeah.
Shane Norgren said, question, great topic, because that's one of the next things we want to talk about. Question, how was the food? Specialty dining buffet, other free food options.
Well,
we did not do any specialty.
No, we did the steakhouse on this Pinnacle Grill on the last
on the Connex Dam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we didn't really want to do that again, and they only had one other restaurant on there, the little Italian place, and
Canaletto.
Yeah, and I don't know, we just didn't really want to do that.
Sharon is always, she does not eat Italian. She hates eating Italian food.
I love Italian food. I love
but on
Italian
the cruise, she won't eat it, and I'm here to expose her right now in front of all of you guys.
No, I don't eat it.
Because it fills her up, and then she has to go,
no, I don't.
She's out.
I like to eat the Italian food on the last day of the cruise because I just feel like so bloated, and when I eat it, because I just pig out on it. It's so good.
Yes.
But we ate in the MDR most of the time, and I would the food and the presentation of the food, I'm gonna say I think it was even better than on the Connex Dam.
Yeah.
The food was good, it tasted good, the presentation was great, and the service was like some of the best we've ever had. We love the main dining room on this little ship.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
And I love Carla McClendon because she supports me wearing jeans in the dining room. And there you go, she said it.
So
hold on, I got a little something.
Every night I tried.
About food, right?
Well, every night I tried to order something that I wouldn't normally order because I'm kind of picky, but I ordered things that I wouldn't normally order, and they were all so good. I mean, I'm glad.
It was very weird in the main dining room because it's a huge dining room, right? I mean, it's a 2-story dining room, and upstairs we were the anytime seating folks.
Yeah. Open.
Sitting in the lower area, we were open seating, and then upstairs would have been the seating folk, whether you're like 5 or 8 or whatever the case is. And so we were open seating, and we went in, and obviously we got sat right away each time, so that was great. And we always requested a table. And one time we asked for a table by the window, and they didn't have one at the moment, and so they actually brought us upstairs and sat us in the other dining area just so we could have the table. So the service was fabulous.
Well, each night we had
the food
different servers, and each one was as good as the other one. Like, they were all great.
Yes. Well, a lot of times we've asked for the same server, but it just wasn't that kind of a vibe.
Well, we didn't. Not on this cruise.
Yeah, not on this cruise. On other cruises, we have in the past when we have like an anytime dining type of
Well,
scenario.
I think we could have on this one. I'm sure we could have, but we just kind of went with the flow and let them set.
But it was fabulous. Okay, hold on. I'll give you a little. Let me see if I have something here. All right, so that. Whoa, we got all kinds of stuff going on there. All right, so that was Sharon in that outfit. Let me see. Here's a little video. I think of maybe some of the food. Oh gosh. Okay, so that was an appetizer I had. That was like a seafood deviled egg. That was fantastic. I had an amazing sushi appetizer, and it was better than what there usually was. The chicken cordon bleu was fantastic. That's what that is. I had the prime rib one night that had the mushrooms and the horseradish sauce on it. This is like a veal cutlet meal. It was delicious, just fabulous. And this was your pot roast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Look how happy you are right there.
I did not expect it to look like that and be that good.
Yes. So everything was great.
Good.
One of the pickiest guys I know, John from the Ship Show, probably would have loved it. And it was just the food was great, service was great, and everything went very well in the MDR.
It was really good, and the buffet it was very similar to Connex Dam. It was just like a smaller version of it. Like, they had all the same little sections and same type of foods, but it was just kind of scaled down. So we ate
Yeah.
in there a few times. We had lunch in there just about every day. And then we had breakfast in there a couple times. We also had breakfast in the MDR a couple times, which was really good too.
I really, really wanted to do the seafood boil again, but it was so good the first time. I was afraid if I did it again, it might not meet the standard, and so I didn't do it.
Then there didn't seem to be that many people. Really
Well, that just weren't that many people anyway. Remember, I mean, when the first day and a half, we were talking about how it was just so slow. There was just no one around. Even we were joking around about the elevator. I'm not lying to you when I tell you 50 trips in and out of an elevator. We probably had another person in there
twice.
Yeah, 2, 3 times, 4 times tops, and it was just crazy. And you would like hit the button,
and it was there.
Yes, I'd be like, Sharon, and I'm hitting a button, and we're in the conversation, and next thing you know, the door's closing already because it opens immediately because there's no one on the ship. And we asked somebody, how many people are on the ship? And they're like, yeah, I think there's about 700. We heard that there was that it was a small amount from a passenger when we were having some conversation. By the way, yes, there are older folks on there, but awesome people. Everyone we talked to was nice, friendly, pleasant. There weren't any crotchety, get off my lawn, folks, Kevin Brubaker, or anything like that.
Everyone was very friendly.
Although there was one lady that was pissed off about the muster drill, and as we came off of the area, she was going out there giving some guy the business, and I looked at him. I looked at one of the gals working there, and I said, "Oh my God!" And the gal looks at me. I swear to God, she goes, "There's always one." And I was like, "Amen, amen." So that was the deal there. I heard they have a vending. Okay, here's Wendy Johnstone coming in hot. I saw your comment. They had a band called Depends. On the ship show the other night, they were making fun of us, saying Holland America is their new favorite cruise line. Next week, they're going on the Denture Dam, and having a little fun. But
it was
I'll
fun.
tell you what, it was a good time.
We enjoyed it. I mean, every cruise line is different for different reasons, and you can enjoy them all for just depends on what mood you're in and what you're looking for.
That's
and
right.
if you're looking to relax, Holland is definitely one of the best for that.
Brandeline94 says she thinks your highlights are looking great.
Oh, thank you.
See that? Yeah. See, they're fresh. They're fresh off a cruise. B-State in 67 in the house. If anyone wants to know how the Texas State Fair's food is, come to the Sharon at Sea Cruise Crew Facebook page. Come in, join it, give us a minute to see it and get you into the group. And you will find out because he is reviewing the heck out of it. It looks fantastic. And I'm very jealous of Bill because I am back on my diet again. I am here to tell you guys that after losing, just over 50 pounds for a while there and watching my weight and getting a little bit healthier over the last 3 months or so, over the summer of getting on this, I think it's been 4 cruises, 4 or 5, 4 cruises. Yeah, I probably put on about 20 pounds if I'm being honest with you. And you can definitely see it about 3 days into the cruise on certain pictures when instead of having this look, this nice thin look right here, there's a lot of this.
Oh my God.
I got a couple of you sitting here and all that, so I'm back on that, and I need to drop those pounds again and try to manage
the
it.
room service that made me think about that sandwich. The thing, it was funny. Okay, so room service. Let's talk about that. Room service. I think Holland has the best room service of any of the cruise lines we've been on.
That's high praise.
It's included. There are a couple options that you can pay additional charges for, but there's so many things that are free 24 hours a day, and I love it. So the food's good. It's hot every time we've ordered anything. It comes warm, not cold like most cruise lines, and it's just been great. So we've ordered breakfast in there, and then on football Sunday we actually we had to watch the game in the cabin because they didn't have any TVs on board that were showing it like in the bars or anything, but they were showing it on the cabin TVs. So we watched the Charger game on that. So we decided to order room service and watch the game in the room. So we ordered several different things, like a whole spread of food. And Jamie ordered you ordered like 3 different entrees or something. And they didn't bring one.
They forgot my club sandwich thing, so I was stuck with the chicken quesadilla and a 3-bean chili, which was amazing.
And there was something else too you ordered.
I may have eaten
salad or
as
something
well.
too.
Yes.
But so
We crushed it.
yeah, so I was like, yeah, they probably figured we didn't need all that food or something.
No.
But so the room service is great on Holland America.
Michelle North says we're on the con exam in November to the Mexican Riviera. Have you cruised there? We have cruised Mexican Riviera. We love it. We can't wait to go back for our New Year's Eve cruise coming up here in about 82 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the weather should be nice in November, so it should.
Listen, the conning dam is a great ship.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's clean. I love the midship area where the it's not really midship. It's a little more forward, but where the covered pool is. There's 2 levels there. Of course, you can try the dive-in burger joint at your own risk.
The pizza there is great.
The pizza and deli.
They
The
have
pizza is
the
freaking
best
unbelievable.
Caesar salad at the pizza place.
Yes, if
So
you like
good.
Caesar salad,
Yeah,
they have the best
yeah.
best Caesar salad that I've had anywhere ever in a long time, and the best ever on a cruise ship by far. So that's for sure. Let's catch up a little bit on the chat and see what other questions. There were a few questions about formal night. You can get decked out for a formal night,
yeah.
and there are some ladies wearing
There's
outfits.
some that did, and then others don't get as dressed up. But just like the other nights, there's a lot of
Well, Sharon, what did you wear for formal night?
Well, I did bring something, but that was unfortunately the night that I was seasick. So we did not go to formal night on.
Imagine how upset I was when Sharon wasn't feeling well and we couldn't make it to formal night. I was devastated. I was looking forward to getting my pants and my shoes on, my tight shoes and my
If I would have known I
so
was going to be sick and we weren't going to go, I could have saved a lot of luggage space.
Yes. But yeah, you can definitely, Stephanie, you can definitely wear you can get as dressed up as you want. As a matter of fact, funny story, on our last night in the main dining room, we really had the whole place to ourselves the whole week. But then on the last night, we were sitting at a table for 2, and another table for 2, literally this close to us, sat
They
down.
have them so they're actually. You feel like you're at a table for 4, but,
Yes,
but
with
they
like
have
a
them-
6
they have
inch
them-
or 8
yeah,
inch
they
space
just have them
between the
split
tables.
up. So if someone else does sit down in the other seat, you feel like they're at the table with you. Like if you're talking, they hear everything you're saying. If they're talking, you hear their whole conversation.
Totally. So so this guy sits down and he's wearing like slacks and like a very, very loud, not loud, obnoxious, but loud, like colorful, like a Hawaiian shirt, right? Lots of yellows and stuff in it and stuff like that. So
And this was not.
He's
formal
got that
night.
on. It was
This
not formal.
This was just.
So
last
he's
night.
got that on, and if I had to guess, I'd say they're probably pushing maybe 70. Give or take a little bit, but about 70. And we chatted with him a little bit back and forth. And then it turned out at the end, we noticed this lady, older gal, she's wearing the slinkiest black, super tight cocktail dress.
It was like a leather dress.
Yeah, it was almost leather. Like if she would have walked into like Studio 54, people would be like, "Hey, come on over here, baby. What's going on?" And it was just funny the dynamic of what people are just wearing, just whatever they want,
And then-
however you feel, and that's really the vibe as long as it's acceptable. And I
They
saw
even
some
had-
older folks that were
they-
very, very underwhelmingly dressed in the main dining room and throughout the ship as well. Some older folks are just they're done with it. Their outfits are just what they're comfortable in, and that's how they roll.
Longer cruises too, people tend to pack a little like not as formal. They're on the ship for all those days. They're going to have to send out their laundry because they don't have self-service laundry on Holland. So they have to send out their laundry. So they pack things that they can rewear, things that are more comfortable. And they don't pack all those extra dresses and
I think it's
shoes
smart.
and things that are going to
I bring a pair of shorts for every day. On a 7-day cruise, I wear like 3 pairs. I just wear them every day. I'm not making a mess, and whatever the case is, I'm not messing myself in them. And that's it. And I'll wear the same shirt. I might wear a t-shirt during the day and then put on a polo shirt or a button shirt at night for 2 hours. What am I going to do? Just take the shirt and throw it away? No. So I save it, and then like 2 or 3 days later, I rotate it out. I wear the same shirt again for something else.
Anisha Land said, I came in
Great
late. How
question.
are the shows? So we saw one dance show. It was called The Tandem. It was amazing. They're very talented, the dancers, and they had a singer.
Hold on,
in
they were
show
the
as
step
well.
one. Aren't they called the step one?
Yeah,
or
but the show was called The Tandem. actual show.
Was it the Tandem?
Yeah, the show was called the Tandem.
Sounds like a weird name. I don't remember, but I'm going to trust you on
yes,
that.
it was the Tandem.
But the dance troupe was great. And what's funny is that the world stage was so small
It was.
on this ship compared to the conning dam.
Yeah.
We saw it. We were laughing. We're like, they're never going to have a dance show here. They did. And it was freaking awesome.
It
and
was.
it was great.
And then
fantastic.
I had mentioned they had a comedians a couple nights and an impressionist another night in there. As far as the entertainment, we did not go to any of those, but the dancing was awesome.
That's right. And the other things that we did stumble in, and this, I don't know if it's us and maybe we're being jerks, but I'll just come out and say it because we like to be honest with you guys.
What you're gonna say.
So they do talks. They do cultural talks. Right? So when they went to Alaska, they're doing Alaska cultural talks. Well, this was a Pacific Coast cruise.
I just saw Gina's comment.
What did she say?
She said 3 bean chili, lucky Sharon.
It was amazing. And that's another reason why I needed to go on a diet.
It was the last day. It was the last day, Gina. So we're good.
Oh my God! So yeah. So John Clayco sat down next to you. That's right, Kevin. So all right. So we walk into the theater. Right. We're in the upper level. We walk in and there's a guy talking. It was a guy. Turned out he was a Hawaiian guy who had gotten on the ship, and he's probably on for part of the tour and then getting off later. But he's doing a talk about California. So we get on there. And I started listening to
he stayed on because I think he was doing some talks about Hawaii, Maui, some other things.
No,
As
that's
we
what,
got off after San Diego, they were heading to Hawaii. So that last sea day, he was doing a talk about Hawaii.
Yeah, and then as we left San Francisco, we were pulling away, and he's out there talking too. So, but we're there. So he's doing a talk about California. So we walk in, and he's talking about some of the colleges and universities and the schooling there. And and he's raving about it, and he's talking about how it's some of the best in the country, and we're like, okay, but there's a lot of great colleges, whatever. So and then all of a sudden he's talking about LAX airport. Then he's talking about the cruise ports in Southern California, and it's all like stuff that you'd think a lot of people would be familiar with, and we're sitting there like, God, who comes to these talks? Then we look around, the place is packed. There's 700 people on the cruise, and I'm not kidding you if I told you
Over
that
half, 3/4 of them probably.
at least half of the people. I mean, if you told me 250 to 300 people were sitting in that room, maybe a little less than half, but there were tons of people. The bottom level was full, the top level was full, and these people are just sitting there like.
They were so into.
You would think that they were talking about like genetics and the Milky Way, like this stuff you've never heard of before. In a class or something, and we were like, okay, this really is underwhelming. Like, LAX airport. Wow.
We walked in there thinking that, like, oh my gosh, what are we missing? Because there were so many people in there, and they were so, like Jamie said, they were like so tuned into what this guy was saying, and we're standing there for a few minutes, and they're talking about the airport and some things, and we're like, oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah, it was so quiet in there. Like if I had that 3 bean chili before that, and I would have tooted in there, it would have echoed through the whole place, through the entire world stage. It was so quiet. So it struck us as funny, and like maybe we're just being jerks about it, or whatever. But and then we're like, okay, maybe there's a lot of people who aren't familiar with California. Yeah. They haven't cruised down through California. They haven't been there before. Maybe they're Canadians or whatever.
They're from other places too. Yeah.
So and we get that, but it was just funny.
And for me, I grew up in California,
where the talk is.
It was so familiar, so it was just like I didn't want.
Where the big talk is about California, and we're like, yeah, it's right there. It's right next door. I can be there in 6 hours, whatever the case is. So that was the deal. And maybe that's a little bit how we felt when we were like, okay, we're going to San Francisco. I don't know. We just don't get that excited when a cruise port that we have is a U.S. place. Like everyone gets excited about the northern, like the New England cruises. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if we're that jacked about that because I don't want to cruise to the U.S.
No, I've
been on the East Coast and the West Coast.
I want to go on New England, Canada cruise.
Right, so maybe because Canada's in there and all that. But like when we find out a port stop is Key West, we're like, or if it's an East Coast cruise and one of the port stops is Orlando, we're like, yeah, I'm not really geeked on that. I want to go someplace away from the U.S. Crazy Cat Trevor said, is Sharon ready for Amazon Prime Day? Yes, like Prime Deal Day. Yeah. Not the true Prime Day, but Prime Deal Day is tomorrow. As a matter of fact, if you haven't seen it, Sharon did an updated Amazon video, which has a lot of new items and some of her old favorites, because you're already getting into the holiday season.
I am. I've just been...
Please stop that.
I've been...
Time out.
Thinking about the holidays lately. I mean, I've gotten some of the fall decorations out. I went to, I've been frantically searching online for different fabrics for these things that I'm making for the holidays for some of the grandkids. And certain ones I have not been able to find. Well, I found them all now, but I had to go to all these different sites and different things to find them. And then I went to Joann's yesterday and got all the rest of the things.
You
And
did.
then
Yeah, you're in full gear.
Someone told me in there that they're going out of business soon, I guess, too. So
Don't spread those rumors here.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what one of the workers said. So
Question, Shane Norgren said, what was your favorite part of the cruise? I mean, once you got past being under the weather.
I'm going to say, actually, probably my favorite day might have been the day we were in San Francisco, just because we just really had a really great day there, and it wasn't expected. Like when we stopped there, we're like, oh, we'll get off, wander around a little bit, go back on the ship. We weren't as excited, I guess, maybe as we should have been be there, but
yeah. I think the good time we had exceeded our expectations of how much we would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we like to. It was just close. We got off. It's like a 10-minute walk. Boom. You're at Pier 39. We had no idea where to eat for lunch. There was 10 different places we could have gone. Anywhere from a sports bar to Bubba Gump's to 5 different seafood houses right there. I mean, just anything, or just maybe some Nathan hot dogs or corn dogs or pretzels or whatever the case is. And we went into this place called the Pier Market, and it was
and I'm not big on seafood,
fantastic.
but I had a great.
It was fantastic. It was. If you watch our San Francisco video, you see we talk about it. We ate there, and it was great. I mean, it was expensive.
Yeah, and I bought a quarter pound of fudge and ate the whole thing.
Holy shit! You're not kidding, Sharon. I ate this much of it. You ate the entire thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. What they say about the charges. Okay, so let me give you this. So the day we get on the ship, we're messing around with the TV, and I go to put on the TV stations, and the first station says college football, the second station says NFL football. Then it has the rest of their stations going, whatever. It's got this and this and the prime station and this and the bow camera and the aft camera, and I'm like, what is this? College and NFL football. So I click on the NFL football station, and it shows Thursday night's game. Then it shows 4 games for Sunday, then a Monday night game, and one of the games for Sunday, it said Oakland Raiders, or where are they? I don't even know. Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry, brain fart. Las Vegas Raiders at LA Chargers. And I'm like, oh my God, Sharon, they're showing the Charger game on the cruise ship. Shut it down for Sunday. Don't make any plans. We're doing this. We're going to see it.
We're staying in the room and watching the football.
Well, I went down to guest services and I said, hey, I noticed you have that on the TV. What is there? So I guess they get 2 feeds, so they show like the 2 CBS games and the 2 Fox games or however it works out. And they show them in the cabin. So I was like, this is freaking fantastic. And they did it on the day before too with some college games. So that was super cool. And I said, well, is the game on anywhere else in the ship? And the guy at guest services says, no, it's not. I said, okay, so I'm just stuck in my cabin. She said, yes. So I said, Sharon, don't make any plans for Sunday. We're staying in here. We're ordering room service and we're doing a whole thing. And Sharon's like, you know what? That's fine. I don't even care. So it turns out that they did show a football game at the Spirit and Ale Bar. They had 2 TVs that usually show ESPN2, which is one of the channels. Now, I don't know why there's no ESPN. ESPN2 is the worst. But anyway, so they did have a game on there, but there was no audio, and I saw that earlier in the day, and I said, you know what, I'm not even going to see if it's going to be on later. That would have been the only place to watch it. So we buckled down in the cabin, like Sharon said. We ordered a bunch of food. I grabbed a few beers earlier at the casino, put them in my pocket, grabbed another beer, had an old fashioned that I brought to the room, and we just sat there and ate, and I had a few drinks, and it was it, and it was great. And we watched the game, and I'm pretty sure that the folks in either cabin on either side of us were like, what's happening in the other room? Because I'm in the room like, yeah, go, and I'm screaming, yelling. I'm messaging with Matthew. I'm doing like a FaceTime, like video calls with them, and it was just fantastic. Wendy, thank you so much.
Thanks, Nancy, for sharing the video.
Oh, that's super cool.
Pam asked, what ornaments did you buy at the Christmas shop? I actually saw several that I wanted to buy. I know I did buy the one. I bought a cable car. At first I was thinking I didn't buy one. I bought a little cable car, green and red cable car in San Francisco.
Yes. Oh, Nancy even put the Amazon shop. That's right. Your Amazon shop. You can, and then she also put the
I saw the video.
The video as well.
Thanks, Nancy.
Nancy, thanks. You're the bomb.com. We love it. We appreciate you. Jamie Wilhite said I got the curling iron you recommended.
Oh,
there you go.
I love.
That's right. The links are in there.
Yeah.
And yes, and
I
to be
just got
officially
that
correct,
curling iron before our summer cruises, because every time when I go on the newer Carnival ships, for some reason my other curling iron would not heat up. But then if I would go on any other ship, it would heat up just fine. So it was something to do with the electrical outlets on it was on the Mardi Gras and the Celebration. For some reason, I don't know why, and I just got tired of dealing with it. So I'm like, I'm just going to get a little travel one, and I purchased that one, and I love it.
Sharon was in that ornament shop long enough that she went in there, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I walked in,
thought I was gonna come out
walked
with a big
out
bag
again.
of
I made a
probably.
video at the fudgery next door. Had a video of a dude making some fudge and some praline stuff. Went back in to find Sharon again, and she's still in there. I mean, it was just insane the amount of ornaments that were in this place. And then we stumbled across all the ornaments that were like beer cans and bottles of liquor, and those were kind of cool. But we didn't get any of
Wendy
those.
Johnson says she loves fudge. Yes, this was fudge. It had caramel in the middle and sea salt on the top. Oh, it was so.
Yes, it was also $15.99 for a half pound. So
that's why I had to eat it all. I couldn't waste it. For a quarter pound.
A quarter pound, I mean. A quarter pound. The same amount as a burger, a quarter pounder. It was it was a lot. But you did it was good. It was good stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, it was good stuff. Let's see. In other parts of the ship, they were showing the reruns of the Honeymooners. No, they weren't rerunning the Honeymooners, but there really wasn't any TV stuff going on there. There really wasn't. And there was no. I don't remember seeing a big screen TV anywhere. They did play. They had a place where they showed a movie. Was it the Explorers Lounge maybe where they did it?
It was the TV where you saw the football on the one day by was it the Ocean Bar? Is that the bar?
Okay.
That one TV?
The Ocean Bar, or no. The bar that's next to the casino. The Spirit and Ale Bar. The one where the shops were?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was it. There's another area called the Mix Area. That's where the piano is, and that's adjacent to the Spirit and Ale Bar. And they had like 5 television screens on the wall, but all they just had like colors on them. It was just like a mood thing or something. So I don't know if they were connected actually to channels. But I gotta figure, you get a bunch of old dudes on a cruise ship, I would think they could have a huge thing for football, showing football games on the cruise ship. I mean, I'm old, and I would sit down there and drink a few beers and have some peanuts and whatever, and watch some football and eat and have a great time.
Kevin Brubaker says not a lot of TV stuff because the people that cruise on HAL grew up without it.
Oh my
gosh, yeah. They had a few channels. They did have like some. You could get different movies on demand. They had a few different shows like on demand. There was like a couple news stations. There was like a travel channel and like the home. Was it the home?
Like a Prime, 2 different Prime. It's not Amazon Prime.
Oh, that one, I can't think of the channel. The
like
one
a home improvement channel.
Yeah, where they show you them fixing up the houses and all that kind of stuff. So they have that kind of stuff on there.
Just your generic type of jazz. And of course, they do have the one thing, and some people say it's on a few other cruise lines. We haven't seen it on anything we cruise, but when you get on the ship, if you put on the after the bow camera, channel that plays music usually, whenever the cruise director or the captain comes on to make an announcement that's not an emergency one that's piped into your room, and it's just one that they play in the hallways and out in the ship, that will actually play on your TV. So if you're sitting there in your room and all of a sudden you hear ding, 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 and then they start to say something outside, just jump up, put on the bow channel or whatever, whichever aft channel or
someone said
camera channel is, and it'll play in there.
that they had that on, I think it was Disney too. I thought I saw a comment. But I don't know. We haven't been on Disney, so I'm not sure.
Well, they got to put that on Disney because no one's at the casino. So let's see what else. It has to be a 50 or 60 hertz curling iron to work on the new ship, said Mary Ellen Dillon. See, Mary Ellen's in the loop. She knows the deal. Let's see. They were talking about the nasty C word. It wasn't Chargers, it's Christmas. I know, we don't want to use that word, but we have to.
I can't believe how quick it is coming up.
It is. When is the next cruise, said Shane. Shane, the next cruise is?
December 2nd.
That's right. And are you telling anyone what ship it is?
I think we've told them already.
Did we? This one will not be a secret? Can we do that again? That was fun.
No. We'll be on the Viva on December 2nd.
NCL Viva. We're going to check it out.
Yeah. But, and we are definitely not going on another cruise between now
and on the Viva, listen, I'm not trying to rub it in anybody's face.
Too many Christmas things.
I don't know if they're, let me see if they're still here, because I don't want to upset them. No, maybe not. They might be getting the kids to bed. Oh, maybe one of them. I'm not sure if... Oh my gosh, they might both be here. There is a favorite server bartender guy that we met on the Prima, on both our times on the NCL Prima, who was amazing. And we kept in touch with him just a tiny bit through like Facebook. So I randomly messaged him the other day saying, hey man, are you or, I don't know, a number of weeks ago. But I said, hey, are you going to be on the Viva? And he said, yeah, he's going to be on it. Yeah. And so we're looking forward to seeing Kent on the Viva, but I don't want to mention that in front of especially Brian from How We Cruise, our friends over there, because they were with us when we first met Kent. And now when we see him again, I'm probably gonna down talk Brian, say some bad things about him, so Kent really just focuses on me and doesn't want to talk about Brian anymore.
Oh jeez.
So that way I get all of Kent's attention going forward.
Nancy said, "Oh, where are you going on the Viva? The itinerary? We're going to Great Stirrup Cay, and now we're going to Nassau. It was supposed to be Key West, but they changed it. So,
So, all right. So, question. So, we just got finished saying how we're not big fans of going to a port that's like a U.S. port, particularly. Maybe not Key West so much, or
I like Key West though.
Come on, you're just saying that because you were on the girls' cruise.
No, I like Key West. I like Key West.
Okay, fine. Julie said we're listening. Sorry, Julie. Sorry, Brian. I heard you from across the room and had to jump in the chat from my phone. Kent.
You can still jump on the cruise, Julie.
Yeah, it's not too late. I think the cabins are still available. Surprise us. I dare you. I dare you. If you do, the first dirty martini is on me. I'm just saying. So would you rather go to Key West or would you rather go to Nassau?
Oh, gosh.
That's a tough question.
That's a hard one. Well, it probably depends on what I feel like doing. I enjoy Key West. It's, there's not anything overly exciting to do there, but I just enjoy just walking around and seeing things.
I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to tell you, I literally have negative interest to go to Key West as a cruise port. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. It maybe be a nice place to hang out and get a bite to eat for lunch, but there's nothing else there that I'm interested in. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it.
We were going to go on the ship mainly, so that was the itinerary. Although right now I would probably rather go to Nassau only because I recently went to Key West not too long ago. But
yeah. Brian from How We Cruise says, send your kids to watch our kids and we'll be there. Listen, come on, man. I mean, can't you just isn't there a cell where you work that you can just lock them up for a few days so you don't have to worry about it? It's only like a 4-day.
They're in school, so they have to stay home. They're not coming this time.
That's right. And after the NCL Viva, and we're excited to go. The Prima came out with a lot of mixed reviews, and it's still taking a beating when I read comments about it and all that kind of stuff. But we're looking forward to checking out the Viva. And when the two of us went, we had a great time on the Prima.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be similar, and but we'll still have fun.
Traveling on said Key West. Chika said I would prefer Key West. I've not been to Key West. Said Anisha. Let's see. Carla McClendon, how about you? Where would you rather go? Let me know. Never been to either one, said Richard Zollner. Key West was a fun day. Marilyn Dillon said, you girls had fun there because you're with other people and you're with a group. Yeah. And sometimes that makes all the difference in the world. I'm backtracking.
I'm looking forward to Great Stirrup Cay, actually, because last time I went there, I really enjoyed it. And so that's probably what I'm looking looking forward to it.
I am. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward, and I think we're going to be on the ship. Our friend Robbie is going to be on there. It'll be great to see him again. We haven't seen him for quite a while. So there you go. Too soon for New Year's Eve cruise T-shirt talks at Crazy Cat Traveler. Sharon, give her the bad news. Give her the bad news, Sharon.
Oh, well, we weren't going to do New Year's Eve group shirts this time. I was getting a little close, and then we've had some issues with some of the shirts in the past, people getting them. Been quite a while, so maybe things are a little better now with some of the shirt companies, but we weren't planning to do them this time.
You know, I'll tell you what, on the New Year's Eve cruises,
If people that are on the New Year's Eve cruise, if they really, really want group shirts, post something in the our group, our New Year's Eve group, and if a lot of people really want shirts, we'll make a shirt.
I think when we do a group cruise that's larger, right? I mean, I'm talking like maybe like 50, 60, 80, whatever people. We usually do it because it's fun to identify everyone that's in the group. And it's fun to do it on a little bit of a larger scale. But on the New Year's Eve cruise, it's a smaller group. There's not that many people going. There might just be about 30 or so.
Well, every year it keeps growing. Now we're up to 42 this year.
Well, okay. Well, maybe. So, insert foot and mouth. I'm wrong, and I'm an idiot. So I don't know. For the smaller cruises, we don't necessarily do it so much. And it's just because we're like, well, it's fun to buy the shirt and be part of the group. But at the same time, we're like, hey, listen, who wants to drop $25 on a shirt that you might only wear once?
If it's a smaller group, we just hate to make people feel like they have to get a shirt, and spend the money. And I don't know. But if people really want a shirt, we will be happy to make a fun logo shirt, and we'll put it out there.
Yeah. We can do it with no pressure to buy it. Of course, then we'll have to buy one because it'll be our shirt there, but no pressure there. Thank you, Crazy Cat Traveler. Big G and Snuggles said, we look forward to the toilet shower foot massager on HAL. Oh. Whoa. What are you talking about? I did not see one of those on HAL. Unless Big G is saying the Snuggles does that for him. In that case, that'd be unique. I can't wait to see Big G and Snuggles on the panorama. Yeah. That's going to be hot fire. We're going to get down and dirty in the casino, and I'm not kidding you. I prefer Key West. There's still a few more things I'd like to see, but I haven't been to Nassau in a long time. Someone else said that they'd like to go to Nassau. Brandoline, I think, said Nassau for the new port.
Yeah, we haven't been to Nassau since it has the new port. So really,
I kind of have.
Oh yeah, you have.
On Romania to Nassau, but we went to a bar, two bars, one and a half bars, and we just went to a local bar and ate and drank all day. So I don't know. Nassau is the same thing. There's not a ton going on. I don't know. I mean, it's like Nassau. It's kind of like it's like when "Stairway to Heaven" comes on by Led Zeppelin. One of the greatest songs ever. But you've just heard it a lot. You're just like, yeah, can it give me a deeper cut? Give me what's on the B-side. Give me something else. This just doesn't have a lot that I want to do. I want to go someplace different or expand a little bit, whatever. And I don't know if that makes sense or not, but whatever. We get to say that because it's our camera and it's our live stream, and I'm here to say that's how I feel about it. So if you don't like that, then... shirt. I need more of an SAST lanyard to Cabin Brew Bakery.
Oh, well, okay. We do have a few lanyards, so I will try to.
You can do that.
I'll try to send you a couple.
Wow! Holy cow!
I'll put that on my.
You're gonna send the chisel. Crazy Cat Traveler said, "I get it, but I still love my Bermuda Group shirt that had the same logo front and back." Yeah. All right. Well, then we'll have to get one going. I mean, John usually does shirt designs. He's a great artist, but old Jimmy here maybe can get one cooking. So we'll see how that works out. Let's see, what else do we have? Let me jump ahead a little bit. How about New Year's Eve boxers instead? Roger, that's a great idea. But Roger, you said you're more of a like you don't wear boxers. You just kind of go en natural. But that's another conversation for another day. Jamie Wilhite said, Sharon, I'm going to send you a business card of my daughter's friend in the Valley who does great work. Check her out.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's cool.
Oh, thank you.
Wendy, no, they don't all wear bibs in the dining room on HAL. Always smart. But I did wear a bib in the buffet when I went to the seafood boil. So there you go. Bear Bull Cruising said, I'd rather go to Nassau. I'd just be curious to see how the improvements are taking shape.
Carla said, I'd rather go to Half Moon Cay. Oh, yeah, I love Half Moon Cay. That's
Debbie Ring said, we need a shirt for a
beautiful
group pic. All right. James and Shaza, when are you heading way south to cruise the Pacific Islands, Oz, and New Zealand? Funny you should say that, because I literally just was talking about that yesterday. And
He's trying to get us on a cruise to Australia before our Iceland cruise this summer. He's like thinking, yeah, we'll go there first, and then we'll
Double
just
dip it.
fly to London from there to get on the other cruise. And I that's when you were trying to do some research.
You weren't against it.
And I said, check the airfare. I think it might be a little pricey. And you checked it, and you're like,
It was $1,300 one way a person.
to get from what was it, Australia to
This
London.
is why Mary Barkley is a voice of reason. New Year's Eve party hats, and write SAS NYE 2023 with a Sharpie. Perfect idea.
I love it.
Perfect. Mary, thank you so much. Thank you. We will put a Sharpie in everyone's goodie bag. Sharon is working on goodie bags for the New Year's Eve group cruise, and she is pulling no punches. I'm not gonna lie. The goodie bag is gonna be hot fire. There will not be any.
Don't get them that excited, because
There's no
they
jam.
might get let down.
You're not doing jam, right?
Well, I was because
Never mind. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to give any of it away.
yeah, because when we don't have to fly, it's easy to do.
Mary is a genius, said Roger Johnson. Kimberly Baker said, I have a new Speedo. It says Sharon at Sea travel agent to the world. Oh my God. Don't tell that one guy on that gossip forum channel, that one jerk who always says, he gets mad because I make the comment and I go, Sharon C. Travel, North America's travel agent. Apparently, it really ruffles his feathers.
I don't think they realize it's kind of a joke. It's like fun.
That guy's a moron. You want to talk about that for a second before we get out of here? No. No? We say that for another time?
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I'm just going to leave you guys with this, because it's about time we got to wrap things up. We've been here an hour and a half, for God's sake. There are websites out there, you probably heard of them, where there are forums where people, they just hate cruise bloggers, and they go on there and they talk mad crap about everyone. We don't take much shrapnel, we're just not that big. They talk about a lot of the bigger channels and stuff, but on occasion we do. But there's one dude who we know who he is. He's in the cruising community. A number of you people that are in the chat right now are friends with him on Facebook. And I know that. And he goes on maybe even some of your live streams. I know who the person is. And he has said the most horrible things about people in the cruising community, people that you love, people that you follow. He has said horrible things about me, horrible things about Sharon, and
several other people.
And a number of other people. And no, it's not Pal Cetera. And recently we were annoyed by some of his antics
It's
again.
not another cruise vlogger.
No. It's just a person. So I have been dabbling. Part of me really wants to expose this person, because they hide behind a keyboard and behind a fake name. And they were on one cruise forum website where they talked a bunch of smack, and that one kind of stopped, and now another one has. And no, it wasn't John Lako, but thanks very much. So anyway, I've been toying with outing this person. I'm not quite sure if I want to do it. I'm trying to be the bigger man. But if this person said the things about my wife and to her that to her face in a bar, I'd deck them. So that's all I'm going to say. So that's it. We're just going to leave it as that, and we'll see what transpires. But I'll leave you teetering on that little thing, and we'll see what you want to do with that information. And if you want more details, and you see me with a drink in my hand at a bar on a cruise ship, I'll tell you everything you need to know. So keep that in mind. So Sharon, that's it. So we reviewed the Holland American Volendam. Bottom line is what? Did we have a good time?
We had a great time. I had as much fun, if not, well, I had more fun on the Volendam than the Koningsdam, even though the Koningsdam is a newer, nicer ship, and we had a better itinerary that time. But I just really, for some reason, enjoyed this small little ship. I didn't really think I would, and I did. And I think I enjoy the small ships. I forgot what the small ships are because we've been on so many larger ones lately.
Roger Johnson said, sounds like we'll all find out on New Year's Eve. Are you saying you think you'll all be sitting around me at a bar while I'm drinking? Okay, you're absolutely right. You'll probably definitely find out. I'll get on the loudspeaker one morning. Attention, everyone cruising with Sharon Sea Travel, I've got an announcement. This person, the following name, please don't ever talk to this person again. That's it. So it's been a great show. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed Volendam as well. And I don't know, truly.
Mary says, wow, I hope I don't know him. I don't.
James says a super lowdown naughty talk on New Year's Eve 2023. It will be Big Gene Snuggles, and I know you guys will be there. So we'll do it. Jamie, I'll have Sharon change Julie off our cruise so you can spill the tea. Listen, I just want to leave you guys with that tip. That's all. I just wanted to intrigue you, dabble a little bit with it, and then we'll get a little dirty. All I can say is those people are jealous or unhappy people. They're miserable, cranky people. They're the keyboard warriors that hide and behind things, and sometimes they get found out because they have big mouths, and this one did. And that's all I'll say for now. I'll just leave you with that. So thank you so much for joining us, and hope you enjoyed our little review of the Holland America and Volendam. And will we be back on HAL anytime soon? Truly this time, because last time we had to lie about it.
Well, we don't have any plans right at this minute, but that doesn't mean we wouldn't go on HAL again.
That's right.
If something came up.
You never know.
But
you never know what'll happen.
Right now, there's no plans.
But Richard's owner says, I learned SAST, actually liked HAL. Julie from Howie Cruise says, we're going to get some juicy tea, doo-dah, doo-dah. We're going to get some juicy tea, oh, the doo-dah day. From the Vlog Cruise, you know what we're talking about there. All right, that's it. We got to get out of here. You guys have been great. Thank you for joining us. We hope you had a fun time. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here as well, please. We appreciate it. Hit the notification bell and watch Sharon's newest Amazon video and shop at our Amazon store. It's an affiliate link. Yes, she gets a few bucks. If you buy a $9.99, if you buy a $9.99 thing of luggage tag holders, she will get 11 cents from that. But please, she needs it, and so do it right and take care of it. Yes, we enjoyed San Fran, Debbie. You're right.
Not just the travel products, but you can log into the Amazon shop,
please.
And then just up in the search bar, just type in whatever you're looking for to purchase. I mean, it could be something totally untravel related, but if you purchase it while being logged into the Amazon shop, then I get credit for it that way too.
If you need a new air conditioner, let's say for the house, it's going to cost you $9 or $10 grand. Search it through Sharon's link, please. That's the commission that we're looking for. Commission on a $10,000 air conditioner is what's going to take care of business over here. So please. All right, you guys, we will see you again next Monday night. Here's the deal. I'm not going to lie. Next Monday night, the Chargers are on Monday Night Football. There will not be a Monday night live stream. I'm just telling you the God's honest truth. It's just not going to happen. Football is on, and I got to watch my Chargers game with Matthew. So that's the deal. So we'll see you again after that.
We'll be back
next week. Yes, and maybe we might start doing more like in every. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. But we've just been so busy lately. It's not easy sometimes doing that show every week, week in and week out. Nancy knows. She does it every week, and it's going to be a challenge. Our friends at How We Cruise do it every Sunday night. Make sure you check them out on YouTube as well. And that's the deal. So Debbie Rain said, good to know about Amazon. Nighty night, Debbie Shapkins. I learned that there will be an Old Mania cruise in 2024. That's fantastic. Great show. Thank you, DB. We appreciate it. Someone else said earlier that they just tuned in tonight and they enjoyed it. We enjoy you.
Thanks.
Thanks for chilling out with us. And until next time, from all of us here at Sharon Sea Travel, to all of you, from myself, from Sharon, from Lucy, from the kids, from Callie, Matthew, for Nancy and Leanne, our amazing moderator team that we can't thank enough for everything that they do and all the support they give us. To all of you guys.
Good night, everyone, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
That's right, 2 weeks, or come join us on the Cruise Crew Facebook, and we'll talk to you then. So until next time, peace out.